No. You're fired. This looks like a bad B movie, not a slick sci-fi. I'm out of here. I'm going to Vern Fonk Insurance. I've seen their ads, and they're the true professionals.
Greetings, film connoisseurs. Welcome to the No Flim Flam Film Fan Channel. That is a level of energy you can expect not to see on a regular basis here. That you can. As you might have guessed, today we are discussing local television commercials. Kinds of low budgets, often cringy, but kind of endearing bits of advertising done by the owner of a local car dealership or a furniture store or what have you. Now, in these advertisements, you'll often see the whole family put together. Can they act? No, but we're gonna shove them on screen. It's the holidays. People need to see family. Is there a conventionally attractive cousin or stepchild in the family of legal age? Put them front and center in every possible advertisement. And hey, you know, that, what was that movie the kids were talking about? Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, a lot of people are talking about that. Really popular movie. What if we did a parody of that? Does it relate in any way to what we're selling? No! But hey, people liked it when we did a Forrest Gump parody, right? Right? People like that, right? I had assumed that these often cringeworthy but endearing bits of very local entertainment advertising would have died off by now. Fewer and fewer people are relying on local television stations for their entertainment. So these local television advertisements, I assumed, would have just faded away and become little more than a specter, a memory, the inspiration for local TV-inspired comedy like what Tim and Eric do.
Hi, me Momo Tim Heidecker, and welcome to Discount Prices.
I've got $1.99.
I've got $7.99.
I've got $16.99.
Cheap prices.
14.
11. $2.49. 3.
But then the other day, my life partner called to me from the other room, like there was an emergency. And there it was on the screen. An example of a modern version of the entertainingly egocentric local television advertisement right there on our screens. And it popped up in the middle of a YouTube video. This is not a national brand. They only have a couple of offices in their city and a staff of maybe about a dozen people. And I want you to guess what they do. We'll talk more about them later. I'll show some more videos, give you more opportunities to guess. But for now, let me just say that I really hope that advertising like this inspires a trend. I would love to see a revival of unhinged local television advertising.
K.O.
Hi.
Cái này tươi ngon quá.
And if you have any examples from your area, please tell us about it in the comments of this video. I love this stuff. I want to see more. Before we jump into the display of this cool, crazy new local television commercial, I thought it would be good to talk about why I even care about local television commercials in the first place. And I figure, since many of you out there watching have likely grown up exclusively with online streaming available to you for entertainment, you might not know what it was like in the environment I grew up in. So we're going to talk a little bit about what local television even was. For much of my childhood, you see, the internet was not yet affordable for most homes. And even if it were, the connection speed was far too slow for videos. Even just trying to download a high-quality picture could take several minutes. So we consumed visual entertainment at home through something called a television. It's like a microwave, but instead of a door, you have a monitor. And on that monitor, you can watch any of about half a dozen local television channels. These channels were managed locally within your home state, but they shared an affiliation with a national brand like NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, or PBS. You had no control over what was shown. You could only choose between what was available on the television at that time. And in choosing between these channels and deciding whether to even turn the TV on, you might have to consult a guide like this one.
I can't live without it. What do I do without my TV guide? I love the in-depth articles, and I do like the way the shows are listed. The Sunday paper is the pits. I'm lost.
If you don't read TV Guide this week, you might be missing something.
These local channels were truly local. The news programs, for example, would typically be based out of the largest city in the state and program mostly news about things occurring within that state. Through their national brand affiliations, these channels would have the rights to stream things from their national affiliates, so you'd get a mix of locally specific programming and nationwide programming. If you lived in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, for example, you might find that in the middle of your uproarious enjoyment of an immensely popular pride of the nation comedy like Cheers, Seinfeld, or Aliens in the Family, all very famous programs that aired in all 50 US states, the commercial break might feature a used car dealership exclusive to Sheboygan, or a chain of hardware stores only available in your region of the country. If your parents loved you, they'd pay extra to get a cable connected to the house that would allow you access to a nationwide collection of television channels like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or ESPN. But if they couldn't afford to love you, you were stuck with only the handful of local television channels, like I was. Because our entertainment options were limited and localized, inevitably, some of the most common household names in entertainment would be regionally locked. They'd be people who were only known to the television regions that had stations that carried what they did. Even though I probably never watched a single horror film as a kid, I still knew the name of the preeminent horror film presenter based out of Indianapolis, Indiana in the late 20th century. Of course, I'm talking about Sammy Terry. You may not have heard of him, but if you grew up when I did, in the 90s, you would see him showing up on local television channels because for many years, every Friday night, he would show up on televisions in Indiana and introduce schlocky horror films to the creeped-out, corn-fed citizens of the Hoosier State. Now, unlike modern-day programs that stream online and can be seen anywhere in the world at any time, Sammy Terry's program could only be seen on televisions physically close enough to pick up the one station in Indiana that aired his show. And people had to tune in at the exact time that his show aired. You had to be in the right place at the right time.
And on certain evenings such as this, your mind can stray from the path of reality and lead you into a maze of suspicion and fear. For behind every bush and tree, hiding in the haven-hued shadows, a fiendish maniac is waiting just for you.
But it wasn't just regionally syndicated television programs that created these local celebrities. Local television advertising could do just as good of a job, maybe even sometimes better, of making somebody a household known figure in a local region of the United States. Szmanda did advertisements for a Midwestern chain of hardware stores called Menards for over 20 years. And even though I'm not a Menard shopper, I don't know if I've ever been inside of one. I have so many memories of seeing him on TV. Ask anyone from Wisconsin, age 30 or older, about the Menard's guy, and they will know exactly who you are talking about, even if they don't know his real name. Ray's crooked smile and the jingle at the end of the Menard's commercial
Save big money at Menard's
are forever etched in my mind like a sense memory of visiting relatives in Wisconsin. The smell of pine trees, the taste of homemade pickled fish, and the Menard's guy telling me to save big money. Ray was just part of the Wisconsin experience.
Almost crapped in my pants when I caught that.
But as I grew up, one state over, in Indiana, I became aware of a famous figure from local commercials that would have been completely unknown to me had I remained in Wisconsin. Not a guy this time, but a girl. The Watson's girl. Also known as the Watson's Spa Girl, or the Watson's Pool Girl. Watson's was a regional chain of home entertainment furniture specializing in pools and spas. Jennifer Eichler featured prominently in advertisements for Watson's for over 15 years. And much like the Menard's guy, she quickly became a household name without a name in the regions where Watson's advertised. And also like the Menard's guy, I did not know her real name until I started preparing for this video. And I would like to take a moment to highlight a few things from the article we just flashed on the screen about her Watson's Girl celebrity status. She graced the cover of local magazines. She was the Grand Marshal of the Elvis Parade in Kansas City, Missouri. And she helped open Planet Hollywood Restaurant in Nashville, where none other than Roseanne Barr's ex-husband reportedly became miffed at seeing Jennifer get more attention than him. Yes, Tom Arnold was miffed, folks, and Indiana's own Watson's Spa Girl is to thank for it. If there were a local television commercial Walk of Fame, she deserves a star on it just for making Tom Arnold feel insecure. But not all of the big names in local commercials were anonymized like Watson's or Menard's. Often the main face of these commercials was the name bearer of the local business, the founder of the store or office with their own name on it. Names they would proudly display and announce in jingles and billboards, even if the name were something I cannot pronounce out loud without risking getting demonetized on YouTube.
We want the commercial. Of course we want the commercial.
We want it. Here's the paperwork.
I just have some serious reservations about this whole thing.
Woohoo!
These local commercials were often forgettable and sometimes cringe-inducing.
Guangzhou!
But if they induced cringe, it was usually a kind of endearing cringe, like
Ramadan!
Okay, they're spending on advertising, but they're not spending on hiring top-of-the-line actors and writers and directors. They're just throwing whatever they have on the screen and hoping for the best. It's delightfully local. Do we need to see the insurance salesman's entire family every Christmas? Does a personal injury attorney really need a jingle?
I'll help you if you make the right call.
There are times in your life you need Stanley Kahn.
I personally, thankfully, never needed the services of a personal injury attorney, but because of a jingle I heard on TV over and over again as a kid, and let's be honest, that incredible poof of hair, the only name that comes to mind when I hear personal injury attorney is Stanley Kahn. And for some kids, local personal injury lawyer advertising can be truly something special.
Laren says her son is obsessed with personal injury attorney Morris Bart. He loves the lawyer so much, he even watches reruns of his commercials on YouTube. So rather than go with Mickey Mouse like she did for his first birthday, Laren gave Grayson the ultimate Morris Bart birthday party.
It's hard to convey to people who have only ever known high-speed internet what life was like in the before times, before online streaming. We simply didn't have access to information like we do today. And it was much harder and slower to keep in touch, if at all, with people who lived out of town, let alone out of state or out of country. And yet, without relying on local newspapers and local television like we did when I was a kid, I find it hard sometimes to keep up with events in my own neighborhood, even as I'm maintaining several online group chats with friends in other states and other countries.
Greetings from the editing room. We realized after the fact that while I said I would explain why local TV has any importance to me, maybe I didn't spell it out clearly. First of all, as someone who has always been interested in film and entertainment, seeing local TV shows and silly adverts by local people as a kid made entertainment accessible. These weren't famous big shots who left town and found glory in Hollywood. These were local people who still lived nearby, still attended local events, and sent their kids to local schools. They provided clear examples of how you could provide entertainment, joy, and a sense of regional pride, or at least enjoyment of local culture, without necessarily being the hottest talent, or in many cases in the advertisements, even talented at all. I also simply thoroughly enjoy regional identity, almost regardless of region. As communication systems have improved and entertainment has become more globalized, over time we see a flattening of regional identities and accents. For most of human history, all entertainment was only what was available in your immediate area. Then, over the course of the last century or so, with radio, film, television, and now the internet, more and more of the entertainment we consume is unchanged regardless of where you watch it. We don't hear actors speaking in our native accents much anymore, but rather a simplified, homogenized version of language designed to appeal to the widest possible audience. So it's not purely nostalgia that fuels my interest in old local television. It's also a desire to see more entertainment born and raised in a localized environment for a localized environment. This is why I got so excited when I saw the crazy Vietnamese advertisement I showed earlier. Sonny is from Seattle. The Vietnamese population of Seattle is greater than the entire population of not just the town, but the entire county that I lived in when I was in Indiana, secretly hoping for more Watson's commercials during broadcasts of Pacers games. I would love to see a Seattle-specific Vietnamese crazy commercial industry develop. Sonny, if you're watching, call me. I'm in. Local television stations used to provide a centralized location where people like Sonny could test out their flair for the dramatic and develop a community. Yes, it's easier than ever to create and share videos, but what about community? When was the last time you watched something creative made in your area for people in your area? If you do have something, tell us about it in the comments on this video.
When high-speed internet started overtaking dial-up internet, and we had good enough speeds in enough households to be able to share videos commonly across the internet, we started to see more people sharing local media that wasn't available to the wider audience yet. And this included crazy local commercials finding an audience well outside of their market zone.
Let's check out the highlights. eating international foods, having wine tours and tastings, vineyard tours, seminars, arts and crafts. It's a lot of fun, a whole day. Stop. Oh, 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 oh,
Savings never tasted this sweet. These savings are gonna freak you out. A jar of savings. You know what that means? Shapoopin'.
Switching to Ball State men's tennis, it seems every week they have a player.
Ow, 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 oh, stop, oh, stop,
Save!
oh, I can't breathe.
Dance! Shapoopin'! Take that to the bank!
Stop.
Oh, no. Oh,
boy,
dear.
I think she's actually hurt.
No,
there.
I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there. Boy,
Okay.
gosh, I hope she's okay.
Okay, we're going to make sure she is.
We'll try and
That's
check
the
on
thing.
her and get back
All
to you
right.
as soon as we can.
We'll be back right after this. Gee.
Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Preeminent among these crazy local commercials to find an audience in the early internet was Vern Fonk Insurance, based out of Seattle, Washington. Unrelated film parodies? They got 'em. Gratuitous family presentation for the holidays? Oh, you betcha.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Dated topical humor with no connection to the services provided? You might call that a specialty. Just scene after scene of wild attention-grabbing nonsense by non-actors doing the best they can to have a good time in the costumes that their boss made them put on that day. And all of these are available on YouTube, but as you can see, they're quite old. Now perhaps I'm out of touch, perhaps I'm just not aware, but these are the last that I remember of crazy local television commercials gaining any traction in the wider national conversation. I just don't recall anything after Vern Fonk getting this kind of attention. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please blow up the comments with whatever you know about crazy local advertisements that people do know more about or should know more about. I'd be very happy to see them. But to the best of my knowledge, Vern Fonk was the last crazy local commercial that people were talking about. Until now. Meet Sonny Nguyen. Like Vern Fonk before him, a true Seattle native with a penchant for over-the-top, attention-grabbing advertising style that bears little, if any, real connection to his daily work. Have you figured out yet what he does in real life? I'll give you a hint. He's not really a spy for Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Ngươi xong rồi, Sonny.
Oh.
No, Sonny, a first-generation U.S.-born child of Vietnamese immigrants, is a personal injury attorney who caters to the Vietnamese-speaking population of the Seattle area.
Ok, luật sư Sơn sẽ là người hùng của bạn. Với sức mạnh của luật pháp của tiểu bang Washington. Hãy nói cho họ bạn đã có luật sư Sơn.
As he states, unsurprisingly on his website, he loves drama and employs psychodramatic reenactments in legal proceedings to understand the intricate workings of the human mind and the depths of human emotion like shame, guilt, rage, love, joy, and compersion. I have to wonder whether he's an actual attorney or just a very, very serious method actor deep into a study for his next role as a personal injury attorney. This just in, breaking news. New Watson spa girl found. But this time, no spas, no pools. And I don't even know if she speaks English. No, she's selling automotive parts out of Guangzhou, China. With really bad karaoke.
Many auto parts in my warehouse. If you look for it, you can contact me. Don't lie to me, don't question me. I have many auto parts, they are company. Many auto parts in my warehouse. I can have found they are company. Many parts in my factory always company. So cheap, just cheap.
And yes, this is late-breaking news because I only just discovered these advertisements on accident. While I was looking up information for this video, these commercials just popped into my social media feed. It's nice to know that putting the most attractive member of the family business in front of the camera without any thought to whether they can actually act or sing or perform just seems to be human nature. Like, This isn't just a North American thing. This might just be a human thing. I find that comforting. And hey, speaking of advertisements, we don't have any. We don't. But if you want to support the channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. And please comment with your favorite unhinged local advertisement. Give a good enough description, I'll look it up, I'll try to find it. We don't allow links in the comments, but just please give the best descriptions that you can. I'm genuinely curious. I want to see these crazy advertisements, and if we get enough of them, I may do a new video just from your suggestions. It's a lot of fun to me. I really like looking it up. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for commenting with your favorite crazy local television advertisements. Now, we will play you out with the soothing sounds of Sammy Terry and his characteristically comforting words.
Oh, yes. I know the terrors that are waiting for you. Just outside the door.
I can't. Stop. I can't breathe. Stop.